I think clearly LeBron watches ESPN. But I do think he gave up watching a lot of the debate shows. Particularly, he's talking about Skip. Because you, Skip, you were the first.
That is true.
It is true.
You were the first person that I ever heard criticize LeBron and say he wasn't clutch. I never heard anybody bring that up, you know, before you brought it up. And it became a groundswell as, you know, people started looking and he had a few late failures here and there. People began to mimic what you were saying. And that started this whole notion that LeBron doesn't have, as you said, the clutch gene.
Which he lived completely down to in the 2011 finals against Dallas.
He did. There's no doubt. Now, I never believed you that he wasn't clutch, but there's no doubt in 2011 he didn't come up big. I mean, I remember you said after he scored 48 against Detroit in Game 5, you criticized this performance. So that was amazing.
Because they had their bigs fouled out or got thrown out of the game, and it was like a super highway to the basket.
But still, Skip, okay, I mean, come on. How can you criticize a guy
because at the end of the first overtime in that game, he had a wide-open jump shot and airballed it to win the game. Airballed it.
He was a young kid going against, at that time, a terrific, you know that, veteran-laden, nasty, tough Detroit Pistons
you think LeBron's,
Bad Boys remix team.
Is he watching right now?
No, I don't think so.
I think he is.
But this is what he has his crew watches.
Yeah.
His crew watches this show and all the other debate shows. So that's where he knows what's going on. But look, it's a fact. 2 years ago, after they lost to Dallas, LeBron, when he gets to playoff time, cuts off his BlackBerry, cuts off his cell phone, does not watch the sports shows. He watches game films and movies. And that helped him get away from all the voices, hearing all the voices in his head. I actually think it's good advice. You know, Steve knows this. A lot of the New York Knicks, when they played in New York, or still, they don't read the papers. They don't watch, you know, because it's so critical.
Melo
and some
is like
people
that.
really
Melo
need
is like
that.
that.
It's hard to have so many voices in your head, and I think that's what LeBron's getting at.
Hold it. Before you go, Skip, let me say this. First of all, Melo, you brought up a great example, Chris, because Melo does not read the papers. He does not listen to radio. He does not watch the debate shows. Melo stays away from all of that because he knows it would serve to be a distraction, which I applaud. The problem is, what I've said to numerous players is, if you're not going to watch, then also don't listen. Don't have your boys come to you and tell you what I said or what somebody else said, and you have an attitude with it, but you don't really know yourself. Because a lot of times, whether it's Chris Broussard, whether it's me, whether it's a host of other people, the comments are misconstrued. And a lot of times, it's not portrayed accurately to a lot of these guys, but they take what's told to them as gospel. And if you're going to be that sensitive to what somebody said, then know what they said, as opposed to just taking somebody else's word for it. Allen Iverson, my man, my brother, he used to make that mistake sometimes. Or somebody told him, but he didn't know himself, and it was gospel. And a lot of times, that caused a lot of problems with a lot of people. You got to be careful about that if you're a player.
Okay, so we have two issues here. I'm going to address them 1, 2. First of all, what Tony Romo said to LeBron James was absolutely pathetic to me, because he dared to insult King James, who has won 2 championships, by putting Tony's goal in the same sentence with LeBron's. You go win your 3rd, I'll go win my 1st. And you go win your 5th MVP, and I'll go win my 1st. You will? No, you won't, Tony. We know it. We've seen too much.
Playoff game.
Yeah, win your 1st playoff game. Well, 2nd playoff game, actually. Okay, so that's the first point. Now back to LeBron's advice. I agree with LeBron's advice to Tony Romo. If I were a professional basketball or football player, I would not listen to me. I just wouldn't. But I'm also going to remind LeBron James and others who say, well, you didn't play, so you don't know. Do you realize how many team builders, how many architects now in the NBA and the NFL and professional baseball and MLB did not play the game? I'll just do basketball. I haven't even put the pencil to this off the top of my head. R.C. Buford, Sam Presti, 2 pretty good architects, wouldn't you say? How far do you think they played the sport of basketball? Past high school much?
Rusty was D3, played college
he played
D3.
D3, okay? RC played high school football, tried to walk on at Oklahoma State. No, he didn't even play in college, okay? How does he know what he knows about basketball? He wasn't even a basketball player. He figured it out. Is he any good? I think he's great. I think he's the best. So just on balance, but big picture, I agree with the advice. Tony Romo next year should tune it all out. I think he does mostly. Yeah. Just tune it out and go play and see if you can figure out how to win your next playoff game.
His first, his first championship.
Yeah,
you go win your 3, I'm going to win my first.
Yeah,
okay.
Right. Great.
I think he was just saying that because he knew LeBron was a Cowboys fan. He didn't believe it. He knows they're not winning it.
How do you know that? How do you know that?
That is a problem. I think that's the biggest problem with LeBron James, dare I say. I'm going to call LeBron James out on national television right now. You're a winner. What the hell are you doing being a Cowboys fan?
Gosh,
it really makes no sense to me.
Come on,
it really makes no sense to me. I don't understand.
It's America's team. He can like it. No?
I don't. Really? I mean,
wait
come
a
on
second.
Now.
He's also a New York
understand.
Yankee fan. Why would he be a front-running Yankee fan?
That's
now
smart.
you're all...